as the home of Lachlan Morton, famous for Steve Irwin. Chris Miller and Cam Nichols raced up just recently. Unbelievable, I tell you what.
We've just hit the halfway point of the year and it's already been a pretty big one. I took a week off the bike with the family, but we all came down sick while we were away, which has made getting back into training harder than expected. And just before that, I had a mechanical incident that, well, let's just say the factor didn't survive. So yeah, there's a little bit to reflect on. And that got me thinking. I actually never shared the goals I set at the start of the year. I recorded them, like I always do, but peaks, racing, and everything else, the video just never happened. But I've been chasing them down quietly, and a few of them are already marked off. The footage you're about to see is from a couple of rides I did earlier in the year, in Port Macquarie and Caloundra. Not my usual roads, but figured they were worth sharing. So let's rewind a bit to the goals I set and how things are tracking now.
Today, I'm in Port Macquarie, a small coastal town about 3 or 4 hours north of Sydney. For me, a childhood holiday destination. But for the rest of the cycling community, it's probably best known as the home of Lachlan Morton. We're taking a couple of days break here on the way up to Queensland, so I thought I'd probably get a ride in. I really have no idea where I'm going today, where I'm going to end up. Kind of need a gravel bike. Chickens, goats, junk. We rural now. Okay, so now that I'm back on some quieter roads, there's a chance I can have a little bit of a chat about goals for 2025. I think it makes sense to keep the same goal categories. Let's talk performance. I don't think I'm going to chase after the same type of performance goals as I did last year. I think 12,000 Ks is around about the right amount. I don't think I need to push the boundary there. If I get more, I get more. If I don't, I don't. Same goes for FTP. I don't think that FTP is a measure that I necessarily want to chase as my target for the year. These numbers all feel fairly arbitrary at this point in time. What I want to target this year is outcomes. I'm heading back to the Peaks Challenge, which you might have heard, and I'm going to set myself a goal of getting sub 9 hours. This is a super ambitious goal for Peaks Challenge. If you've done it, you'll know what this is going to be like. My other performance goal for this year is going to be the Tour of Brisbane. This UCI Grand Fondo event is a feeder for the World Fondo Championships that will be on later this year in Australia. So the World Championship Grand Fondo will be down on Amy's Grand Fondo, which was run at the end of last year as a feeder for the event. I wasn't able to make that one, so the last chance of getting a ticket here is going to be the Tour of Brisbane. To qualify for Worlds, you've got to get in the top 20% of the feeder Fondo event. So this is going to be my performance target for the Tour of Brisbane.
So, how did it go? Peaks Challenge, done. Smash the sub 9 goal. You've probably already seen that video. Tour of Brisbane, managed to qualify for Worlds. That one felt like a long shot when I said it, but we're in. And for FTP and yearly kilometres, both are trending in the right direction despite not actually setting a specific target. I've just ticked over 8,000 kilometres for the year, which has me on track for well over 12,000 if I can stay consistent. And I recently hit an all-time 20-minute power PB. No complaints there either.
Skip ahead a few days and Happy New Year! I'm in Caloundra now, which is on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, home of Cam Nichols, and you might have seen some recent videos from Max Mann about the grind. Those routes run around this area. Although Moo Crew do run every single day, rain, hail or shine, I'm not going to be joining them today. I'm going to be heading up to a place called Montville, which is up a wonderful climb near Australia Zoo, famous for Steve Irwin. The route is mostly flat today, but the climb has a good 10 minutes at around about 8%. It should be a good 20-minute test today. Okay, we're starting to hit the base of this climb now. I know it starts off with some pretty hectic ramps. Let's see how it goes. Looks like I got a little bit of company up the road. See how he's gonna fare. Okay, time to put the camera down. Get down to business. Okay, it's the first 10% ramp done. Just the smallest amount of respite. Then we go again. Get a load of this next bit. Okay, second 10% ramp done. Again, very short reprieve. And then we go into 7 or 8% through to the end, I think. That's the primary comm done. Looks like I got a PR for that one, thank goodness. There's another segment that carries on to the turn off. We'll keep pushing through to that, I think. Those views that a GoPro will never do justice to. We're about halfway between Mullaney and Montville, which just so happens to be about halfway through this ride. We'll try and stop in at Montville, fill up the water bottles. Okay, we found some water. Looks like Montville's setting up for a lovely New Year's Day. I think we've got to double back a little bit now, and we got a pretty gnarly looking descent to get back down to the coast. I get a feeling like this is the climb that Chris Miller and Cam Nichols raced up just recently. I don't know, we'll see. Shit's fucking unbelievable, I tell you what. Okay, let's talk about experience goals for a second. So the first one kind of bleeds on from the performance, right? I want to go and I want to qualify for the World UCI Grand Fondo Championships. So this will be down in Melbourne. It'll be Amy's Grand Fondo. Look, I'm not looking to perform at this event, right? To merely go to this event and be a part of it. A World Fondo Championship in Australia is probably not it's probably not something I'm going to see in my lifetime. So to go and be a part of it, I think is a key experience that I want for this year. My other big experience goal for the year will be to seek out some kind of coaching or maybe just mentoring on the bike, getting someone else's opinion upon what I am doing and what I should be doing and how I can get better at riding.
Worlds is happening. Accommodation is booked. Still sorting out the logistics for getting there, but it's coming together. The Australian kit's been ordered, which still feels a bit weird to say. Getting a coach, well, we all know how that turned out. Stephen and I are planning our training block for Worlds now. I don't fancy myself being anywhere near the pointy end of this race, but I want to give it a proper shot. The course starts with a 20-minute test, and I'm coming off a 4.4 watt per kilo effort at the end of my last block. It's a big improvement for me, but I still have a way to go if I'm gonna chase Mr. Miller out the gate.
Sunshine Coast has just 2 modes, flat and straight, or 8% plus. I better focus. This looks like a great opportunity for me to get doored. So I guess I beat my wife home. Nice.
The one set of goals I never really captured at the time were the community ones. Growing the channel, building something that actually connects. That's always been part of this, even if I didn't say it out loud. We passed 3,000 subs recently, which is wild, and if you're one of them, thanks for being here. I've also been trying to ramp up on Instagram. Short form is a whole different thing, and honestly I still feel like I'm figuring it out. But it's been fun trying new stuff, and if you've been part of that ride, I appreciate it. Partner-wise, it's been great starting working with Insta360, Precision Fuel and Hydration, both brands that I actually use and believe in. And hopefully, there's something exciting on the partner horizon coming soon. A lot of these goals weren't even clearly defined back in January, but here we are halfway through and many of them already behind us. Hard to believe that it's only July. So what's next? I might have to set some new goals. What goals are you working on? What have you got left to achieve in 2025? Let me know down in the comments. But other than that, folks, until next time, see ya!